This video will demonstrate how to initiate a case for general civil in Orange County, California. Now, once you've registered and logged into TurboCourt and you've indicated that you want to file in California and specifically for general civil, you'll come to this screen, and this is where you'll indicate which county you want to file in. So let's just go ahead and select Orange County and then click Next. And the program will first ask, do you want to start a new case in this court, or do you want to file into an existing case in this court? For this demonstration, we're going to start a new case. So I've selected the first choice. Now, TurboCourt is intelligent and it knows that I've registered as a business, and so it wants to know whether or not I am represented by an attorney for this particular filing. Now, if I've indicated yes, this filing is being represented by an attorney, then it wants to know, is it a sole practitioner or a law firm? So let's say we indicate a law firm, and then it wants to know the law firm name. If I said a sole practitioner, it'll ask for the sole practitioner's first and last name, and then we will actually make an electronic call to the Superior Court's database to see if they already have that law firm or sole practitioner in their system for electronic filing, and if so, they will then match this filing with that filer. If not, they will then give you the opportunity to create a new record in their database so that you get an ID so that you can do electronic filing in their court. Let's just go back. I'll click Previous, and I will indicate that in fact, it's just a business that's doing this filing. No attorneys are involved here. Click Next, and so we go right into the TurboCourt General Civil application, where it'll ask us the questions that the court needs in order for you to initiate a case. We'll essentially work our way across these sections until we get to the final preview area, and then TurboCourt will analyze your information, calculate filing fees, generate any necessary forms, allow you to attach your own documents, and then electronically submit those to the court. So, past the introduction, we'll click Next, and because this is case initiation, there are a number of pieces of information and data that the court needs. And so first off, is it limited or unlimited? Is it under 10,000, between 10 and 25, or over 25? So I've indicated that it's a limited under $10,000 situation. And the case type, a number of selections available to us. And so I've indicated that it's a Rule 3.74 collections case. I click Next. And now for this filing, which court location will I be filing into? And I can select these two, and I've indicated the Central Justice Center. And now it's also asking, well, would you like TurboCourt to generate some of the court forms for you on your behalf? And so TurboCourt will generate the civil case cover sheet for case initiation, that's CM10. It will also generate all necessary summonses if you'd like, or you can basically decide to attach your own documents and not have TurboCourt generate those. But let's just go ahead and see what TurboCourt will generate with this demonstration filing. Okay, so for case initiation, what case category is this? And I've indicated it's a contract. And so what subcategory? And in this situation, a Rule 3.74 collections contract case. Court wants to know whether you want to designate this as a complex case. I've indicated no, and so from here I'll move right on to additional case details. However, if I were to say yes and click Next, a new page will appear, and here's where I would indicate why it should be a complex case. But let's just go back and say no, it's not complex, and so that additional page simply disappears. Okay, additional case details. So it's showing me what I've indicated so far. A civil limited filing under 10,000. It's a Rule 374 collections case. Case category is contract. So, personal injury case, no. Types of remedies, I'm indicating only monetary. The number of causes of action, I've indicated 1. Is it a class action lawsuit? I've indicated no. I click Next. Are there any related cases? And I've indicated no. However, if I said yes, there are, then once again TurboCourt can generate that notice of related cases that the court wants. It'll generate that for you automatically. Or you can simply choose to create it yourself and attach it. If I say yes, I do want TurboCourt to generate that for me, then one new page will appear I'll fill out the required fields, and those are fields with the asterisk. And once I fill out that information, then TurboCourt will generate that notice of related cases for me and automatically attach it and send it to the court with the rest of my documents. But we'll keep this a little simpler, and I'll simply say no, there's no related cases here. I click next, and I don't know if you've noticed, but essentially as I keep clicking next, it simply moves me from one section to the next. If I ever need to review anything, I can simply click back on any particular section. I can jump to any of these pages, and it takes me right there. So it's very quick and easy navigation if I want to review or make any edits. But let's just go forward with plaintiff's information section. So how many plaintiffs? I've indicated simply one, but you can have any number of plaintiffs here. Is it an individual or business? I've said it's a business. Now, what is the role of this first party? So I've indicated they are a plaintiff, but there are several other roles that are possible here. What is the organization type? Is it an entity, a government agency, or a trust? I've indicated it's an entity. Now, what is the business name for this plaintiff? And you can have also an also known as or doing business as, for example, but I'll leave that blank. But if I were to select that, then this alternate name field, the AKA field, for example, would have to be filled out. All right, we'll click next. The address and contact information, I've already filled that out to save some time. And are they applying for a fee waiver? I've indicated no. So I click next. And now we're in section 4, and this is where we will select our lead document. All right, so here I get to, I'm showing that I've already selected the complaint for collections. But as you will see, there are many document types that can be selected for case initiation. But we'll stick with that collections complaint and hit next. Now, do I want to attach any additional documents? Now, I already know civil cover sheet will be generated for me. I asked the system to do that. The summons will be generated for me. I've already indicated the lead document, but I might want to attach some additional documents, and you can attach 5 more documents per submission. I've indicated none, but let's just see what happens when I say, for example, 1 more document. When I click next, I'll be selecting, well, what type of document is this? So for example, I can say it's in the category of exhibits, briefs, and receipts. And then I get to select which type is it, an exhibit list, a brief, a receipt. And then I'd give it a document name and move forward from there. And what will happen is TurboCourt will then create a placeholder for you, categorize it as an exhibit or brief with the document name that you've provided, and then you'd simply attach it at the end of this process. But let's just go back and say, no additional documents are needed right now. Okay, how many defendants? I've indicated 1. Again, individual or business. In this situation, I've said they're an individual. So what is their role? So a different set of roles for the defendants side. Their name, and again, they could also have an AKA, for example. I'll click next. Do you have any unnamed defendants? And if so, how many? But I've said no unnamed defendants. And I'm done. I click next, and TurboCourt will now analyze all of my responses, and it will do several things. Let's take a look. So it's already now done that. And we see that we now have a completed form set, and it has been given a unique TurboCourt form set number. Now this is separate from your case number, so this is a unique number that you can reference prior to a case number having been applied. We also see that filing fees for Orange County have already been calculated. So this is a complaint or other first paper for less than $10,000. So we have those fees, application and convenience fee for a grand total of $238.43. And so that's the dollar amount that I'll need to pay. However, in certain circumstances, if you want to provide a larger filing fee amount in case for some reason downstream there'll be additional fees that you need to pay, and you just want to go ahead and cover that now, I can click on this link and put in a dollar amount over $225. Of course, I can't pay less than $225. The system won't let me do that. But if I wanted to put in $300 or $325 or some amount like that, it would allow me to do so. It'll take that money now, and essentially I'll have money on file, as it were, for this particular case. But we'll go ahead and leave it as the calculated amount of $225. And as I scroll down, I can see that I already have documents as part of my form set. I have that civil case cover sheet and summons that I asked TurboCourt to generate, so let's take a look at those. I click View, and these will be generated as PDF documents. And let's just go ahead and make that a little bit larger. So here is the CM10 civil case cover sheet, clean, nicely formatted, easy to read, all the information that you provided. There's Peterson Associates, and an electronic signature will appear once we do the electronic filing. So that is covered. And let's take a look at the summons. Once again, a PDF document is generated. Make that a little bit larger. So there's defendants, plaintiffs. Scrolling down, we see the name and address of the court, Peterson Associates and their contact information. And so now this document is ready. Once the court, assuming they accept this filing, they'll file stamp, they'll endorse, seal stamp it, whatever is appropriate for a summons, so that when it's returned to you electronically and automatically, it's available to you as an official court document that you can then serve. And of course you have your lead document that you said you're going to be attaching, and so we need to attach that. This is a document you would have prepared yourself, so I click Attach. It must be a PDF. It's already been predefined as a document type that'll go directly into the court system. It's given a default name, but you can override or add to that name if you'd like to. And I simply click Browse, attach the PDF that I've created, click Save. TurboCourt will analyze it to make sure it's a legitimate PDF document, and it is, so everything's good to go. So we've got one next step to take. We're just about ready to electronically file and pay our fees. Remember that TurboCourt will automatically notify you of the status of your filing along the way. So as soon as you electronically submit your fees and documents, you'll receive your first notification saying that the court did in fact receive your documents. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to pick up the phone saying, hey, did you get it? You'll already be notified, yes, in fact, the court did receive your documents. Likewise, assuming they will accept your filing, you'll get notification that your filing has been accepted. Here's your new case number. Here are your court-endorsed file stamped documents and so forth. And so it's very nice to be automatically notified of each of these stages of the process. Likewise, if you want, you can have those very same types of notifications sent to colleagues, co-counsel, your supervisor, your client, basically whomever you'd like. So you can put multiple email addresses in here, and they too will receive those same notifications updating them as to the status of this particular filing. Scrolling down, I'll agree to the terms and conditions, put in my name for electronic signature, and now I'm ready to e-file and make my payment. So I click e-file, and there are a number of ways of paying. You can pay with PayPal or a credit card, and if you have already made payments through TurboCourt, let's say with a credit card, and you opted to store that credit card and give it a particular name, you can now reuse it without having to re-enter that payment information over and over again. The other nice thing about that is, let's say you work in some sort of an organization, you can make this tokenized credit card available to colleagues. Now they won't see the credit card number and so forth, but you can give them access to using it so that they too can use it to pay for their TurboCourt fees or court filing fees and so forth. So let's just go ahead and keep this simple and say that I'm going to pay with that previously stored credit card, but like I said, I could pay with a different credit card or a PayPal account. I click Next, and we'll analyze and process that payment, and this is actually sent to the third-party payment provider, and it was successful. So we have a payment transaction ID number. We can view that payment receipt and get all the information. It went to Orange County Central Justice Center. Here's the form set number from TurboCourt, submission name, transaction date and time, transaction number, the court's transaction number. They have their own unique number, which I'll show and explain in more detail in a moment. All of your fees. You can print this if you'd like for a hard copy, or simply view it on screen. And now if I want to go back to that filing, I can see that the status went from completed to delivered. And if I were to look at the Messages tab, I can see that I already have received a message. So let's take a look at that. Documents have in fact been submitted to the Superior Court of Orange County. And here is the confirmation transaction number from the court. Now this is a number that's unique for this filing for this court. So that's different from the TurboCourt form set number. It's different from what your case number will be. This is a transaction number for this filing from the court, so you know they've gotten it. And you'll be notified when your documents have been processed by the court. Assuming they accept it, you'll get another notification that it's been accepted. It'll have a case number. Like I said, your file stamped court endorsed copies of the forms so that you can then serve them, and so on. So I'll go ahead and mark that as read. And now at this point, I'm simply waiting for final notification from the court through TurboCourt, or of course I may have opted for email notification as well, so I might get the notification through email, or I can just simply log into TurboCourt at any time and look and see what the status of this filing is. And that is how you initiate a case for general civil in Orange County through TurboCourt.